There are 500 million neurons lining your stomach right now. That's more than in a cat's entire brain, more than in your spinal cord. Your gut is thinking right now while you read this, but you can't hear it. The scientific name is the enteric nervous system, the second brain, and it doesn't just digest food, it digests reality. It processes threat before your thinking brain even knows danger exists. It reads the room before you walk in. It knows the answer before you hear the question. This is not metaphor. This is neuroscience. And most men walking around today have severed the connection to it completely. You think your anxiety lives in your head. You think those racing thoughts, that chronic unease, that feeling that something is always wrong. You think it originates in your skull. It doesn't. It's a signal, a distress call from your second brain, a message you've forgotten how to decode. And the reason you can't decode it is simple. The telephone line has been cut. The wire between your two brains has been corroded by decades of modern life. And when that connection dies, you don't just lose digestion. You lose intuition. You lose instinct. You lose the ability to feel truth. You become spiritually blind. Let me show you the wire. Let me show you what's been severed. The vagus nerve, the 10th cranial nerve, the wandering nerve. It starts at the base of your skull and travels down through your neck, your chest, your diaphragm, and into your gut. It's the longest nerve in your autonomic nervous system, and it's the telephone line between your two brains. Here's what most people don't understand. Information doesn't just flow down from your head to your gut. It flows up. 80% of the signals on the vagus nerve travel upward, from gut to brain. Your second brain is talking to your first brain constantly, sending data, sending warnings, sending intuitive hits about the environment around you. This is how you know someone is lying before they finish their sentence. This is how you feel danger in an empty parking garage. This is how you walk into a room and immediately know something is off. Your gut brain reads microsignals in the environment, processes them faster than conscious thought, and sends the message up the vagus nerve. Gut feeling, intuition, the thing that kept your ancestors alive for 200,000 years. But here's the problem. That nerve is under attack, and the attack is constant. Processed food, refined sugar, seed oils, emulsifiers, artificial sweeteners. Every bite of the standard modern diet creates inflammation in your gut lining. That inflammation produces cytokines, chemical messengers that tell your vagus nerve to go into defensive mode. The nerve tightens, contracts, the signal weakens. Add chronic stress. Low-level, never-ending stress. Traffic, bills, screens, news cycles, arguments. Your body can't tell the difference between a lion and an email. Stress is stress, and every time you feel it, your sympathetic nervous system fires. Fight or flight. The vagus nerve shuts down. It has to. You can't digest and run at the same time. But you never stop running. The stress never ends. So the vagus nerve stays offline. For hours, for days, for years. The result? Static on the line. Like trying to make a phone call during a lightning storm. The signal breaks up, fragments, disappears. Your gut brain is screaming at you, sending emergency broadcasts, but your head brain only hears noise. Anxiety, panic, dread with no object. You become disconnected from your antenna, cut off from the ancient intelligence that lives below your ribcage. And when that happens, you stop feeling your way through the world. You start thinking your way through it. Pure logic, pure analysis, paralysis by analysis. You lose the flow, you lose the thread. You lose the sense that reality is guiding you. Because the part of you that reads those signals has been lobotomized. Not surgically, biochemically. One meal at a time, one stress response at a time, until the wire goes dead. And you call this normal. You call this adulthood. You call this how life is supposed to feel. It's not. The ancients knew about this brain. They didn't call it the enteric nervous system. They called it the Dantian, the hara, the lower cauldron, the seat of power. In Taoist internal alchemy, the Dantian sits 3 fingers below your navel. It's the furnace where energy is refined, where intention becomes action, where thought becomes reality. Every Qigong practice, every Tai Chi form, every meditation technique starts there. Not in the head, in the gut. The samurai understood this completely. They called it the hara, the center. A samurai didn't think his way through a sword fight. He couldn't. Thought is too slow. By the time you analyze an attack, you're dead. Instead, he moved from the hara. Instinct, reflex, a knowing that lived below thought, below fear. This wasn't mysticism. This was survival technology. A trained samurai could read intent before the opponent's sword moved, could feel the trajectory of the strike before it began, because his hara was online. His gut brain was listening, and his head brain trusted it. Western science ignored this for centuries, called it superstition, called it warrior poetry, until recently. Until neuroscientists discovered something called neuroception, the biological mechanism of subconscious threat detection. Here's how it works. Your gut is lined with sensory neurons that monitor everything: microbes, toxins, chemical signals from food, but also signals from your environment: tone of voice, micro-expressions, body language, pheromones, data your conscious mind never registers. Your gut brain processes this data in milliseconds and sends a verdict up the vagus nerve. Safe or unsafe, truth or lie, stay or run. This is gut feeling, not metaphor, biology. Evolution built a precognition system into your abdomen and gave it more computational power than most animals have in their entire nervous system. And you've been ignoring it, overriding it, suppressing it, because you think intuition is irrational. Intuition isn't irrational. It's pre-rational. It's faster than rational. It operates in the space before thought. And when the connection is strong, when the vagus nerve is firing cleanly, you don't think your way through life. You feel your way through it. You know. And the knowing is always right. But you can't access it while the line is dead. You can't hear the signal through the static. So let's clear the static. Let's reconnect the wire. Let's bring the second brain back online. This isn't meditation. This is mechanics. You're going to physically massage the vagus nerve with your diaphragm. You're going to pump the telephone line until the signal clears. Here's the protocol. 2 minutes, twice a day. Sit or stand, doesn't matter. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, just below your rib cage. You're going to breathe in a way that moves the bottom hand, not the top hand. This is diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing. The breath your body used before stress taught you to breathe shallow. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. As you inhale, push your belly out against your hand. Feel your diaphragm dropping down like a piston into your abdomen. This creates pressure. This pressure massages your vagus nerve, mechanically stimulates it, wakes it up. Hold the breath for a count of 4. Feel the pressure. Feel the stretch. Your diaphragm is pushing against your gut. Your gut is pushing back. This is the massage. This is the stimulation. This is the reset. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 6. As you exhale, pull your belly in, empty completely. Feel your diaphragm rise back up into your chest cavity. The pressure releases. The vagus nerve relaxes. The cycle completes. Do this 10 times, slow and controlled. 4 in, 4 hold, 6 out. By the third breath, you'll feel something shift. A warmth in your belly, a loosening in your chest, a quieting in your mind. By the 10th breath, the static will start to clear. This is the vagus nerve coming back online. This is the telephone line reconnecting. This is your two brains remembering how to talk to each other. Do this every morning. Do this every night. Do this before every decision. Do this when anxiety hits. Do this when you feel disconnected. You're not just breathing, you're rebooting the system. You're clearing the channel. You're restoring the flow. But here's the other half. You have to stop poisoning the line. You have to stop feeding the second brain garbage. 90% of your body's serotonin is produced in your gut, not your brain. Your gut, by the bacteria living in your intestines, the microbiome. These bacteria are part of your second brain. They talk to your neurons. They influence your emotions. They shape your intuition. And when you feed them processed food, refined sugar, industrial seed oils, they die. The wrong bacteria take over. The signal degrades. You think you're just eating food. You're not. You're programming your intuition. You're either feeding clarity or feeding static. There is no neutral. Clean food, real food, food your great-grandfather would recognize. This isn't diet culture. This is signal maintenance. You want intuition? You want flow? You want to feel truth again? Then stop eating lies. The connection between your two brains is the most powerful tool you have. It's older than language, older than logic, older than civilization. It's the biological root of every spiritual tradition on earth, and it's been inside you the whole time, buried under inflammation, drowned out by noise, severed by a culture that taught you to live in your head and ignore everything below your neck. But the wire is still there, and it still works. You just have to clear the line. Stop eating blind. Start feeding your intuition. The second brain is waiting.